नमस्कार, मी कामाक्षी बर्वे, बर्वा स्किन थेरपीकडून. बोलबर्वाच्या मागच्या भागामध्ये आपण तंजावूर, चेन्नई इथून जयश्रीताई राव यांना भेटलो होतो. मुलाखतीचा अर्धा भाग आपण मागच्या शनिवारी पाहिलेला आहे. त्याच मुलाखतीचा पुढचा भाग आपण आजच्या भागामध्ये प्रसारित करत आहोत. आणि मुलाखतीच्या या भागामध्ये आपण तामिळ संस्कृतीचा आणि मराठी संस्कृतीचा नक्की मेळ घातला तरी कसा गेला आहे हे त्यांच्याशी बोलून पाहणार आहोत.
मला ताई तुम्हाला असं विचारावं आवडेल की तामिळनाडूमध्ये जी तमिळ संस्कृती आधीपासून वर्षानुवर्ष नांदत होती, तिथे महाराष्ट्रीयन जेव्हा गेले, बाहेरून गेले, तेव्हा कोणत्या प्रकारचा संस्कृतीचा प्रभाव तुमच्यावरती झालेला आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतो? हाऊ हॅव महाराष्ट्रीयन इन्फ्लुएन्स्ड अँड एज ओल्ड तॅमिलियन कल्चर आफ्टर एंटरिंग इन टू द रिजन? आपण असंही बघितलं आहे की तामिळ संस्कृतीचा प्रभाव तुम्ही सांगितलात. हाऊ उत्सव हॅज बीन ऍक्सेप्टेड बाय तंजावूर महाराष्ट्रीयन. बट नाउ आय वॉन्ट टू आस्क यू व्हॉट यू हॅव टेकन विथ you there, and which is accepted by the Tamilian culture, basically.
Yeah. The Tanjavur Maharashtrians have over the centuries grown into a community who have integrated the culture and heritage of their parent state, Maharashtra, along with the adopted land. The local Tanjavur natives referred to us as Raojis or Rayers because we have the surname Rao, and we are acclaimed foodies. As I told you, we are broadly classified into, the Smarthas and the Madhwas. So other than this, the other habits like food and dress, everything remains. So with regard to food, as I told you, it is primarily rice and a lot of bhaja and dals and lentils. The dress also I have told you. Other than this, one thing I have left out is the weddings in the community. So weddings manje kai karto ami is, I have seen a couple of weddings in Maharashtra, and there the Mangalashtak is recited in the form of shlokas by the bharjis or the priests who are officiating the wedding. Whereas here I find, there is a small, what shall I say, a local twist to this custom, probably because of, Carnatic music being so popular in Tanjavur, and population also being very proficient in Carnatic music. You will find that these Mangalashtaks that we sing, during the wedding, all have we have music. It is musically presented. Like it is the raga Todi, which is the Carnatic raga. And after the bhajji, recites the Surya Savitri Sukta and the Mangalashtaks, they then throw it open to the public. Then the men and women in the group, Navracha, Navricha, their relatives, so they will take over from then, and then they will sing these Mangalashtaks. I'm not a good singer, Kamakshi ji, but I will just give you a small, representation just for our audience to understand, how these Mangalashtaks are presented during the weddings. Sulagne Savadhana लग्नाचे सदरांत समस्त पाहता राम धनुष स्पर्शिले काढोनी पाहिले उचलिले मोडोनिया घातिले सीता धावत येऊनी मगतया मालगळा घातिली. Sita Ramachandra Vadhuvara Kuryat Sada Mangalam Sulagne Savadhana Vishnula Kamala Shrivasi Girija Krishna Jashi Rukmini Sindhula Sarita Taru Silatika Chandrajashi Rohini Ramasi Janakatmaja Priyajashi Savitri Satyavrata Taishi Vadhu Sajiri Varitase Harshevara Siyata Sulagne Savadhana. So it goes on like this. And after the Antavpat, the Jiregul Navra Navri, which they place on each other's head, generally I have observed that in Maharashtrian weddings, this is the Muhurta. This is the most important event in the wedding, and they take a break after this and then come back for the rest of the rituals. Whereas here you will find that in Tamil Nadu, the Tanjavur Maharashtrians, what we follow is the local Paddhati. So here the Mangalya Dharna or the Garsoli Banna, as we call it, is the main event, the main part of the Muhurta. So after Antavpat and Jirekoda Good, which they place on each other's head, once the Antavpat is removed, then we go on to Kankan Bandhana, then, Kanyadan, Panigraha, then Kanyadan, and later on, after the Mangalya Dharan only, we take the break. So that is the most important event in keeping with the Tamil Brahmin customs that we have now started adopting. So this was a small change, and I wanted to share that with you.
वंडरफुल. आता जिरे गुळ इकडे नसतातच, अक्षतच असते हातामध्ये, जे एकमेकांच्या डोक्यावरती घातले जाते. जिरे गुळची पद्धत आपल्याकडे इथे नाहीच आहे आता. ही बहुधा फक्त तुम्हीच जपून ठेवलेली आहे. It is not anymore in Maharashtra.
Okay. See, historians have commented that the Tanjavur Marathi kings, though they ruled for 179 years, they never imposed any of their ideologies or habits on the native people. They have they have fostered the local customs and talent and whatever they had to offer. And, along with the Maharashtrian customs, this was a healthy fusion which enriched both the communities. So both have stood to benefit by this, interaction. The Tamil community, like Brahmin community, until very recently, was very fluent in Marathi, I tell you. Tanjavur Marathi was spoken by many communities, by many Tanjavur Brahmin families. And the reason for this is Tanjavuranta, it is like this. The houses they were colonies, small colonies. Agrahar manu mantata. And they were small colonies which shared a common courtyard, an angan, So they all lived very close together in such proximity that there was a lot of interchange and exchange between the two, between all the houses within that particular agrahar. So you will find that, exchanging of cuisine and, and more important, you will find that they have picked it up from their neighbors, the language, constantly listening to, Tanjavur Marathi neighbors speaking the language. The Tamil Brahmin community also, picked up very well the language, and they were so fluent in it. I have personally heard, when we have our cousins who still stay in Tanjavur, and we just go there for a couple of days when there's a wedding or some special celebration in their house. And we find that the neighbors around there, they all speak to us in Marathi, and we will not know who is a Maharashtrian and who is a Tamilian there. So tavda त्यांच्या fluency असतं. I was surprised, I will narrate a little incident to you. माझ्या सासूला मी एक दवा, I took her for eye surgery. Consultation चालत असताना we were forced to wait outside for the doctor. एक वडील बायको आले, and she was dressed in that typical madishar, just like we have a Nawari, they have their madishar and the 9 yard sari that they drape in a special unique style. So ते आजी आले, and त्यांनी माझ्या सासूकडे, अहो किती दिवस झालं हो सरोजा तुम्हाला पाहून, किती संतोष वाटतो मला तुम्हाला पाहून, हेत कोठं आला तुम्ही, कसा आहे तुम्ही म्हणून. So and then my mother-in-law went talking to her, and they were chatting away for more than half an hour till the doctor called for them. So this was in pure Tanjavur Marathi, and without a word of Tamil. So I was so surprised. So that was the proficiency that most Tamil Brahmins had in Tanjavur Marathi because of living in that kind of an environment. So they were Ved Pathshalas, and the students, the teachers were all Tanjavur Maharashtrians. So all the students, it was a Gurukula kind of setup. So when the students went to their guru's house to learn, they were staying there with the gurus. So they adopted the food, the cuisine habits, and they also adopted the language. So the Bhajis who used to come to our house, they used to speak so freely in Marathi to us, though they were Tamil Pandits. So to that extent, they gained proficiency over the language. But I would say the most important contribution of the Tanjavur Maharashtrians to the local community would be the bhajan sampradaya. The Bhakti Sampradaya, nurturing of music and the Bhakti Sampradaya. You will still find in Chennai many bhajan mandalis. There are bhajan sammelans, and mind you, most of these bhajan mandalis are entirely made up of Tamil Brahmin singers. There might be one or two Tanjavur Marathi singers in the group, but primarily they are all Tamil singers, and they have learned the language with such passion to understand the meaning of these abhangs. They have these bhajan mandalis regularly. You can see them sing at temples for Ekadashi and other events, and you will also find that there are sammelans being offered, held together very frequently. In the pre-corona period, you would have sammelans just to keep this tradition alive. So that is one very great contribution. There is what you call the Vishwavarakari Sansthan of Kadenallur. This is a village which is about 330 kilometers away from Tanjavur, and Sri Ganpati Tukaram Maharaj has founded the Vishwavarakari Sansthan. It was founded in 1990. So since its inception, he has been training. He has had a guru in Maharashtra, Satarkar Bua, and he has learned the sampradaya from him, and he has trained thousands of children and adolescents and adults in this sampradaya, the Varkari sampradaya. And every year, he and his son Raghunath Maharaj take people from Chennai, mostly Tamil speaking people and a few Tanjavur Maharashtrians. They are taken to Alandi to join in the Varkari. They have a dindi of their own. have Dharmashala in Pandharpur built to house all the Chennai and Tanjavur contingent. They are housed there, provided free food and water, and तवड सुविधा करून देता आता म्हणजे हेवडदरालीन तेथे घेऊ just to participate in the wari there. So that is how passionate they are. Jnaneshwari is taught here. Tukaram Maharaj's Gatha is taught here. And it is taught both online and, on campus. So you can choose whichever form you want. There are people from abroad, Bhuru students yancha, US and Astata, Europe and Astata. They so passionately learn this, and you will find them coming down to Kadenallur, and, there are satsangs held throughout the year, interspersed, throughout the year, and many devotees join in this wholeheartedly in this. There is Ekadashi Pravachan and Satsang, and many devotees join in this, Other than that, they have also recently released a document, Veer Vithalanche Gadhe. It tells you about the intricacies of the Varakari Yatra and how from start to finish it is held. So just to get more people involved, they are also translating the Jnaneshwari into Tamil. I mean, translate means not the meaning, the script. The script has been, prepared in Tamil, just so that more Tamilians and Marathi speaking people and those who cannot read Devanagari script, they can read the Marathi script also. They can read the Jnaneshwari and benefit by it. So this is the extent to which the Sansthan goes to promote the Bhakti culture and Bhakti Sampradaya of Maharashtra. So they have kind of, they asked the Kirtankars then to sing in their courts, but they found that many in the audience were Tamilians, and they could not understand what was being narrated, and they lost interest. So what the kings did was they allowed the abhangs to be there in the recital, the Harikatha, whereas the explanation for the abhangs, the meaning, and also the narratives, the katha, that was given in Tamil.
ते तो कोण सांगितला उडके एक राधा जो असं आता तिचा मोबाईल आहे आता लाईव्ह मध्ये पण दाखवूया काय चालतंय ते काळात नाही.
So when that was done, people started coming back to listen to these Harikathas. And that is how it continued to stay. And today we have Harikatha Kalakshep or Harikatha continuing in the same format. Today it's a very popular art in Chennai, in Chennai and Tamil Nadu, you have Harikathas everywhere. And during these kathas, you will still find that you have the singer presenting the songs in Marathi as abhangs or bhajans, or they sing in Sanskrit or Telugu, but the narration and the explanation will be given, the story will be given, the body is in Tamil. So that has only it was directly born from the Harikatha. Hari Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Hari Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari. Hari Likewise, we are told that, there is another form here in Tanjavur, which is called the Poikail Gudurai. It is a folk art. right? And the speciality of this folk art is that, like in the Gondhals, they narrate folklore and stories from mythology and the Puranas. So what happens is, a slight deviation from the Gondhal is that the artists who perform these Gondhals, they get into dummy horses. To tell you, Poi Kal Gudurai, the three words mean Poi is false, Kal is leg, and horse is ghoda. So Poikal Gudurai is a dummy horse. So first, the body of the horse is created with paper and cardboard and cloth and colorful materials. And then the folk artist gets into this. Generally, it's a man and a woman, a pair, they are generally playing the king and the queen and narrating all the folklore. So you will find that this dance, they tie wooden legs to their feet, and they tap, during the dance. When the feet are tapped, you get the sound of hooves, horse hooves. So that is why the dance gets its name, Poikal Gudurai. And this, we are told, is a slight, improvisation of the Gondhal that they learnt from the Tanjavur Maharashtrians. Then rendering of bhajans or abhang, as I told you earlier, that is very popular. And one thing is, that during the concerts, you must have heard of the music concerts that take place in Chennai and, various parts of the world now, music concert by great Carnatic music artists. They have always been rendering kirtanas in Sanskrit, Telugu, and Tamil. But recent times, over the past couple of decades, you will find that Marathi abhangs are included in these concerts. So compulsorily, the local Tamil audience, if the artist has not sang it, they will get a request from the audience saying, please sing abhangs for us. So tauda prabhal jala hai, tauda prasiddh jala hai, and they enjoy listening to it so much that artists have compulsorily added, a couple of abhangs or at least one abhang to the concert when they are, performing it in front of an audience.
Can you name one or two abhangs which are being played there?
Brindavani Venu,
Oh,
माझे माहेर पंढरी,
क्या बात है.
सुंदर ते ध्यान, वृक्षवल्ली. I can go on and on. I mean, there are so many songs that, they like I told you, माझे माहेर पंढरी is a hot favorite, like here, So these are all songs that are played during the concert. They are sung during the concert. And wonderful. Likewise, we have learned, from them, we have learned the Tiruppugal, which is dedicated to Lord Subramanya, Abhirami Andadi, which is dedicated to Goddess, then Tevaram in praise of Lord Shiva, and Tirupavai in praise of Lord Vishnu. So the Tanjavur Marathi devotees also, like when we recite our prayers in Marathi and Sanskrit, we also recite these Tamil prayers which we learn. We go to classes and learn these special prayers also. We enjoy reciting this in groups. As I told you, these all these few poems or praises of the gods and goddesses I've told you, they're all set to music mostly. So it requires, learning under a guru. We go to a common class with groups of 10 or 20 people, and we learn it together and sing it together. It's a beautiful experience.
This is what you call cultural contribution or
exchange. Absolutely, absolutely.
Tanjavur Maharashtrians taking some things from Tamilians and giving back to them something.
Entirely, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay.
Along with this, I would just like to add a small note on Tanjore paintings. Tanjore paintings are exclusive to this region, very colorful paintings. The speciality of these paintings is they're mostly of gods and goddesses, and gold foil is embossed over these, paintings, and along also studded with precious gems. So no, visitor to Tamil Nadu or Tanjore will go back without this Tanjore painting. In addition, they also have the Tanjore plates. This we are told was a speciality of Sarfoji Maharaj. We told you he had gone to Kashi on a yatra, and there from the artists in Varanasi, he learned that they employed different metals to give a different color to the paintings, So metals were embossed in silver, in bronze, and in copper. So you would get a tricolor of white, gold, and red. And
Wonderful.
these were circular plates. Again, it was embossed. These figurines were embossed around the plate, like Ashtalakshmi, or different avatars of Vishnu, or these were the predominant themes in these plates. And they are also very sought after gift items.
Wonderful. I want to ask you one question as we are coming back over to food again and again.
Okay.
One question on the food again. सांबार म्हणजे संब आहार म्हणजेच आजचं सांबार. याचा जन्म शहाजीराजे दुसरे यांच्या मुदपाक खाण्यात म्हणजे स्वयंपाकघरात झाला असे पुरावे उपलब्ध आहेत.
ओके.
ती गोष्ट काय आहे? There is a historic evidence that sambar or samb ahar was first made in the royal kitchen of Sambhaji Raje II. What is the story of this world famous dish? People want to know about all these.
Okay. See, as I told you, the Saraswati Mahal library in Tanjavur records a narration in Modi script about, that sambar originated in the Tanjavur palace. It is said that Chhatrapati Maharaj's son, Sambhaji, was once a guest at his cousin's house in Tanjavur. Shahuji Bhonsle was the ruler then. And on that particular day when Sambhaji was at the Tanjavur royal palace, they had run out of supply of kokum. And kokum was not available in Tanjavur. म्हणजे कुठकी दुकानाला गेलो घेतलो म्हणासारखं नव्हतं. So what they did was the chef who was preparing the food that day ingenuously added tamarind, because कोकम आंबटपणाला आम्ही वागतो, तसंच म्हणजे चिंच आंबट असतं. So instead of kokum, he added tamarind juice and the usual tur dal and the vegetables, and he made such a delicious dish, and this was offered to Sambhaji. He is said to have enjoyed it so much, and he praised it so lavishly that the dish, his cousin named it after him. It was called Sambha Ahar, as you said, and called Sambar. Though there are disputes, about this, sometimes they say it is said Shahuji himself was a great cook and he prepared it himself. Tani karu swayam karun dile tancha cousinala म्हणून. But we will never know. And there are also debates again that sambar was prepared earlier, but K.T. Acharya, a renowned food historian, Tani Sangtata, ki there was no mention of sambar ever in any text before the Tanjavur Maharashtrian era. So quintessentially, sambar is a Tanjavur Maharashtrian creation coming right of the royal kitchen.
So we are blessed with sambar through the royal kitchen of the royal
Shahuji Bhonsle.
clan of
Shahuji Bhonsle.
Yes. Now, one thing more. खाद्य संस्कृती ही प्रत्येक प्रदेशाची वेगळी असते, पण जिथे संस्कृतीचा मिलाप आहे म्हणजे मराठी तामिळ असं एकत्र येणं आहे, तिथे तंजावर महाराष्ट्रीयन लोकांनी कोणत्या गोष्टी अडॅप्ट केल्या आणि तिथल्या मातीत मिसळून जायला मदतीच्या झाल्या. एव्हरी रिजन हॅज अ युनिक फूड कल्चर.
but the different food culture meet together as Tamil or Marathi.
Yeah.
There is a differentiate on exchange, definitely a exchange between these two cultures. So how has Marathi cuisine contributed to Tamil food culture?
Culture. Okay. See, as I told you, the iconic Maharashtrian dish Puran Poli is absolutely quintessentially Maharashtrian. There is no dispute over that. And
Yes.
ever since the Maharashtrians came into Tanjavur, it has become a part of the Tanjavur Brahmin, cuisine also. So you find that during their festivals also, like on Bhogi Day, Bhogi is the festival they celebrate just before Shankranti. So भोगीच्या दिवस नंतर श्रावणी येतं आवणी अविट्टम म्हणतात. श्रावणी आम्ही ऋग्वेद उपाकर्मा जो म्हणतो ते दिवशी ह्यानी दे डेफिनेटली प्रिपेअर पोळी. अँड पोळी म्हणजे देर आर डिफरंट व्हरायटीज ऑफ पोळीज. पुरणपोळी करतो, म्हणजे खोबऱ्याच्या पोळी, खोबरं भरून करतो, नंतर दूध पोळी करतो. So you will find that just like we prepare these different types of polis, they have also accepted that as part of their cuisine now. So that is a very important, dish they have adopted. And also Puran, I think, is more exclusive to Maharashtra, for Nevedya, whether it is in the form of modaks or suklunde that we make, dip it into batter of rice and urad dal. So these items are also prepared here. While tallele modak is more famous, ghavach pith ghalu ami karto Maharashtranta, heta it is prepared with rice flour, ukadla modaka, तांदूळ लाचपीठ घेऊन ते कणिक करून करतो. So that all these are nevedyas that is offered not only during Ganesh Chaturthi, but for all Devi pujas also. Like I told you, for Varma Lakshmi Puja, then for Chitra Purnima and important festivals dedicated to Devi, we will have these nevedyas. Then of course the penis. Peni, both Sevaya Peni and the Padar Peni. So these are again exclusive Maharashtrian dishes which are compulsorily prepared in Tanjavur Brahmin household, especially for large gatherings. Like when there is a wedding in the family, you can rest assured that the previous day on the Janvasa, they will have, Padar Peni and Semia Peni, either of these prepared for the wedding guests. So as I told you, Sambar, we go now to Sambar. Sambar, we have discussed as a major contribution, but there are varieties of Sambar available here. So what, you might be used to is probably only the Sambar you have for idlis and dosas. So in addition to the Sambar we have for rice, we have different varieties. The first will be Punnich Sambar. Just punni offered to it, it is very mildly spiced, green chilies, red chilies, and, just punni and dal and chinchach pani, with of course soft vegetables like bhenda or vangi or, very soft vegetables. Then we have a vatung ghatlata sambar. This is roasted and ground spices. This is for larger gatherings when there is a घरान सणवार होतं, एक 20 जणे आले घराला जेवायला, म्हणजे for a larger gathering we prefer this kind of a sambar. Then there is आंबट भाजी. I told you पाला वगैरह भरू मिळता येतं. So पाला घालू with an equal amount of dal and some chinchach pani and ponni, we have आंबट भाजी. An exclusive Tanjavur Maharashtrian addition to this आंबट भाजी is the ponni. काय करतो हे कराच दिवशी, we will heat तिळाच तेल and make a phonni of mohra and udad dal, and this is stored in a container. Tani jevtana, you mix the ambat bhaji and the rice and add a spoon of this phonni on top of it and mix it well. The smoked oil and the crunchy phonni will give it an absolutely delicious taste. It is taken with dangar and kachrat mirsinga, as I told you, and also metach vada. म्हणजे मेता रात्री ओव्हरनाईट भिजवतो, वाळल्या मिरशिंगा बरोबर त्याला वाटून we sun dry it and store it, and this is deep fried and had with the ambad bhaji. It is a exclusive Tanjavur Maharashtrian preparation, and you will find many Tamil families also having adopted this. As I told you, they stayed together in the same compound, and because of the exchange of all these dishes, they have continued preparing it because on demand from the family. So that is one. And other than this, there is the Tanjavur Pitla, which I cannot ignore. Tanjavur Pitla is very famous. As I told you, Junka is Pitla in Maharashtra. Here, Pitla is a preparation with vegetables, tur dal, and chinchach pani. One thing special to this pitla is like, the Maharashtrian trait of adding a lot of lentils, आम्ही उसळ भरून करतो. ह्यांती हे पदार्थांती ना, we add, kabuli chana or peanuts that are soaked overnight. ते भिजवून घेऊन भाज्याबरोबर ते शिजवतो. So it is a very wholesome pitla that we find. The spices are ground fresh, chane dal, dhane, and a lot of kovra. Here there is an interesting story how this trend came about. We are told that the original settlers from Maharashtra, when they came to Tanjavur, they missed the copra. Maharashtra uses a lot of copra, down from the temples to the pujas, onti bharna to, cuisine, a lot of copra is used. Whereas copra was not available, 300 years ago in Tanjavur. So what the original settlers ingenuously did was, fresh coconut was available in abundance, and they have grated and roasted fresh coconut to the point of dryness, when it could be similar to the taste of copra, and this was added to the regular other ingredients and ground into a paste and added to the dishes. So though today 300 years late, in the neighboring departmental store you will get copra, many people still prefer to continue with this Tanjavur Maharashtrian custom of grating coconut and roasting it and adding it to their dishes. So this was a pitla for you. Yeah. And then we have, this was tur dal. These were all tur dal preparations, Then we have the moong dal preparations. We have, of course, sambar. And then we have what is called the Kumbakonam Kadappa. So this dish is exclusively for tiffin items like idli and dosa, and it is so famous that it is a must prepare for weddings, as I told you, for the Janvasa tiffin.
I think tiffin means nashta. Breakfast.
Nashta. Here the Tamilians have it in the evening, not in the early morning. Early morning is direct lunch with tiffins in the evening. So this tiffin will be, whether it is especially for weddings, we are told, even now it is a practice to serve rava dosa and kumbakonam kadappa. It is without chinch, without tamarind, but unlike, Tanjavur Maharashtrian dishes do not use a lot of spices, whether it is dalchini or bay leaf or the anarsi phool, they are not used generally in cooking. But for this particular dish, it's a recent dish, I assume, because of all these ingredients being used. So this, it's spiced up. It's not ground because it becomes overpowering. It is just added to the ponni, and along with potatoes and onions and tomatoes, it comes into a very nice, delicious dish for as an accompaniment for idlis and dosas. Mind you, garlic is not used mostly in this cooking. Garlic is never used at all. At most onions. This is traditional cooking I'm talking of. Then after the Kumbakonam Kadapa, of course, we have the sapak pitlas with pala. Sapak pitlas, moong dal, along with vegetables or pala. There is no tamarind used in this dish. It is exclusively dal, udidad dal, mire, and grated kora, again roasted. So this forms the base for the sapak pitlas. And there is, as I told you, after all these we have the, during the sapak, when grinding the masala for the sapak pitla, we also throw in a few cashew nuts, because Pudukottai is about an hour away from Tanjavur, and they are one of the biggest producers of cashew nuts. So along with the sapak pitla, Deshasta sapak pitla, you will also find a few cashew nuts thrown in, and this gives it a very creamy texture and, very delicious. So all these items are prepared by the Tamilians. Doodh pitla. Doodh pitla, we are told, is a different adaptation of the Pandra rasa in Maharashtra. So where you use lamb or meat, they use soft vegetables like doodh bhompla or vangi, the very soft vegetables. Tanjavur is very famous for these bhomplas, especially the small variety, which they call bhompli chkotta, or, very tiny ones. They are very delicious for this particular dish. So, and of course, while on vangi, they are used in so many dishes, from bharli vangi to doodh pitla, ras vangi, vangi bhat, vangyach ras, bharit. So there are so many preparations, and the Tamilians also continue to use this name. They said, today in our house we made ras vangi or vangi bhat. So even the name they have borrowed from us and continue to use it. So dangar, as I told you when talking of ambad bhaji, is an accompaniment. This is urad dal, which is blended with curd and spiced with jeera, as punni, and some green chilies and grated ginger. So this is a heavenly accompaniment when you're having ambad bhaji. It's a must serve almost in most homes now. Other than that, the other powders that the Tamils have openly accepted is metkot. Metkut is also very popular. Bhuinjanech pud, shengdanach pud, with a little dhania for, for tiffins and things like that. Then the santrach salpatach pud hami jo karto. So these are all, they will take recipes from you and prepare it, So a lot of Maharashtrian recipes finding their place in Tanjavur homes.
हे साधारणपणे आपल्याला असं बघायला मिळतं की मुलं शाळेमध्ये जाणार आहेत, माझ्या डब्यात काय आहे आणि तुझ्या डब्यात काय आहे. मी जर तंजावूर महाराष्ट्रीयन फॅमिली मधून असेल तर माझा टिफिन जो काही आहे किंवा माझा शाळेचा डब्बा जो आहे तो माझ्या मित्राला खायला जर आवडणार असेल तर तो ऑब्व्हियसली त्याच्या आईला घरी जाऊन सांगणार आहे की आई, त्या शेजारच्या काकूच्या डब्यामधलं ना फार छान असतं, तू शिकून घे काय आहे ते.
that happens very often. Yes,
दोन्ही बाजूनी होणार आहे हे. तामिळ ब्राह्मण घरांमधनं जे काही बनत आहे ती आपली मुलं म्हणणार आहेत की नाही, हे 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 शिकायला पाहिजे आहे तुला. मला आजचा बोलबर्वाचा भाग बघणाऱ्या सगळ्या प्रेक्षकांना हे सांगायला आवडेल की ताईंच्या बोलण्यामध्ये सतत खाद्य संस्कृती, पदार्थ, वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या फोडण्या कशा केल्या जातात किंवा कुठलाही पदार्थाचं नाव निघालं की त्या डिटेलमध्ये त्याची आपल्याला रेसिपी सांगू शकता आहेत. कित्येक नावं अशी आहेत की ही मी फक्त, माझ्याबद्दल बोलायचं झालं तर मी फक्त नावच ऐकलेली आहेत. आय हॅव ओनली हर्ड अबाउट दिस. फेनीज are not anymore made in Maharashtrian homes. That is a delicacy, has been a delicacy now. Modak, yes, for Ganpati we make it. But what you are saying for Janvasa Ghar, even the name is not used in Maharashtra anymore. Janvasa Ghar, लग्नाच्या आदल्या दिवशीचं जे काही वऱ्हाड आलेलं आहे त्यांच्यासाठी जो शब्द तुम्ही वापरता आहात हा देखील आता इथे वापरला जात नाही फारसा. मला बर्वाच्या सगळ्या बघणाऱ्यांना हे सांगायला नक्की आवडेल की एवढा ताईंचा जो खाद्य संस्कृतीवरती भर जो आहे तो या कारणामुळे आहे. रादर ताईंच्या पर्यंत पोहोचण्याचं रिझनच हे होतं. क्लासिक क्विझिन्स अँड सेलिब्रेशन्स तंजावर महाराष्ट्रीयन्स या तुमच्या पुस्तकाबद्दल आमच्या प्रेक्षकांना अजून थोडंसं जाणून घ्यायला एवढ्यासाठी आवडेल की हे पुस्तक जे काही आहे याच्यामध्ये इथे पुरणपोळी बघायला मिळते आहे आपल्याला, इथे करंजांचा एक प्रकार पाहायला मिळतो आहे आणि हे असं पुस्तक आहे की ज्याला व्हेजिटेरियन सेक्शन मध्ये पुरस्कार मिळालेला आहे. मला याच्याबद्दल तुमच्याकडून ऐकायला आवडेल कारण आजकाल मराठी घरांमधून सुद्धा खूप वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे क्विझिन्स बनवले जात नाही आहेत. पुरणपोळी सुद्धा सणावारीच फक्त बनते आहे. देर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरन्स इन महाराष्ट्रीयन फूड कल्चर ऑल्सो, ॲज
we were ruled by different people, different rulers basically. The food culture has been changed in Maharashtra immensely. So the people who are listening to our interview would love to know more about your book, please.
Thank you. Classic cuisine and celebrations of the Tanjore Maharashtrians was originally conceived only as a reference notes for my son. You know, when I put it on my computer and I started compiling it, the heading I gave it was notes for festivals. That's it. So it tasa shuru jhala, very humble beginnings just for my two sons. Both my sons were living away from me then. The younger one was a student at ILS Pune, and Thorla was an instrumentation engineer, and his job took him away from Chennai. So I had time on my hands, and Tanal Karun Thiwama, Saye Astamma, Vel Astana, I should do it for them, Manona. I just started putting down notes on the computer. And Tasa te karu, and then I used to ask my, relatives, Vahinis, Kakis, and Maushis, and others, whenever I had doubts. I said, how is this done? How is that done? And then I would start putting them together. असं करून करून ते वाढलं. म्हणजे it was, then I met the Bhatjis in my community, Shri Mahadev Bhatt and Shri Venkoba Rao. So Tani, they had a lot of information. And then I felt that Tani वडील असताना आम्ही एवढी शिकून घ्यावं. त्यांच्याच नंतर आम्हाला सांगणार कोणी राहणार नाही तर. So तसं म्हणू, I went to them and I went to senior members in the community for recipes and puja paddhatis, and then I noted down all this and put them together. एवढं करल तर नंतर मला काय वाटलं, and त्यांनी म्हटले मला, when I told my Bharjis, they said, जयश्री, हे तू तुझ्या घरा बरी करू को, तू हे करू ना, तू तव्वड जणालीन दे, तू बाकी जे देशस्थ मुळामुळी आहेत त्यांना तू द्या हे, you should spread this, you should give it to more people. So, when I'm doing it for myself, it's different. But when I'm doing it for others, I have to be more careful. So we went more professional and, brought in more details to the book. And when I finally compiled it, it turned out to be a huge volume. Originally, I had intended to give it as a free distribution to all the community members. But that was not possible when it grows so voluminous. It was almost 320 pages. So I had to put a price to it because of the cost. And, once the book was completed, my sons took over in editing it. Edit kele, manye photographs provide karle. My elder son, Sriram, is an engineer and he's also a very passionate photographer. So pura toj kela hai te photographs and editing and laying out the pages for photography. Of course, he also helped me with the editing. The younger one, Chandramouli, is an advocate. So to pura editing karla, both the editing, the text and copy editing. So it was thanks to them that this book, it comes to you as it is today. The perfection which we were able to achieve was strictly thanks to these two boys who helped me out so much with the book. So once this book was completed, we approached Shri N. Vittal, who so generously provided us the foreword to the book with his immense knowledge on the community. He gave us the foreword. I'm very grateful to him for that. I'm also grateful to Shri Vasudev for editing the puja section of this book, so that he's a doctor in the Kuppusamy Research Institute. So Kuppusamy Shastri Research Institute, sorry. So I have had so many people helping me out with this book. I thank all the contributors and those who have helped with me on this book. One important achievement is that this book has been awarded the Goman International Award from Europe. Originally it was chosen as the best vegetarian cuisine book in India. So that made it eligible to compete for the best vegetarian cuisine book in the world title. So with entries from over 200 countries, classic cuisine and celebrations of the Tanjore Maharashtrians made it to the top spot in this, award. And I'm very grateful that this is an award given to all, the team, the entire team behind classic cuisine. The book has been very well received by all members of the community. Seniors जो आहेत 80-90 वर्षाच्या वडील त्यांनी मला म्हणतात तुझे बुक वाचताना मला माझ्या बाल्यात सय आहेत. म्हणजे आमच्या घरात माझ्या आई माझ्या आजीच करत होते, आता तो कराल होत नाही हे सर्व ना. म्हणजे बट ते वाचतानाच आय एम स्टिल टेस्ट lingers in my mouth and I'm back, transported back to the days when we had such celebrations in our house. So parents tell me we were very disappointed that we are not able to guide our children who are staying so many thousands of miles away. We are not able to help them to celebrate, and with job constraints and other things, children find it very difficult to follow these. So they were saying that your book is bridging that gap, and we are happy that now our children are able to follow this and celebrate the festivals like they used to in their childhood, which is what the youngsters say. They say, auntie, thank you for the book. We are able to follow and do dishes that our amma and aji used to do. We are able to treat our children to the same thing. And one more factor is that they are an identity crisis kind of lingered over the Tanjore Maharashtrians. Many of them were not, especially the youngsters, they were not able to express themselves and their identity to their friends. सो काय झालं, त्यांनी कोटत्रीन जाताना आम्ही मराठी बोलतो घरात म्हणजे त्यांना मस्करी करत होते. दे यूज्ड टू बी मेड फन ऑफ, दे यूज्ड टू बी रिडिक्युल्ड. सो टू द पॉइंट वेन द चिल्ड्रन यूज्ड टू से, आम्ही बाहेर कोणाकडे सांगत नाही की आमची मातृभाषा मराठी आहे. आम्ही त्यांनी कोणतरी विचारलं तर आम्ही तमिळ म्हणून सांगतो. So that was the situation, and a few children have come to me and told me, auntie, we were unaware that we had such a legacy and heritage आहे आमच्यामुळं, आम्हाला कळलं नव्हतं. आता हे वाचू, we are so proud. Now we go and tell our friends we are all Tanjore Maharashtrians who came down 350 years ago and things like that. So that is what makes me really happy. This book, it's beyond my wildest expectations. I thank my gurus for the blessings, and it is not possible, humanly possible, to do this book alone. It is a collective team effort, and it is done through me, I would say, and I'm happy at the response it has received.
हे म्हणायला सुद्धा खूप मोठं मन लागतं की हे माझ्या एकटीचं काम नाही आहे, हा माझ्या गुरूंचा आशीर्वाद आहे, हा माझ्या टीम साठी केलेला हे आहे. पण
I always maintain, Kamakshi, that this is done through me, not by me. So it is not humanly possible to record so many details. Purna guruncha anugraha, vadilancha anugraha, my parents, my sasu sasra who taught me, so many people have a role to play, and I cannot take credit for it. I thank wholeheartedly each and every member whom I have not mentioned also. I thank everyone who has contributed to making this book what it is today.
You can say it is a Rama Setu. Everyone has taken a small part.
And exactly.
Then after a while, when you try to make a good thing, each and everybody who have played a small part, then only you can come up with such a fantastic book. Not only with the cuisines, फक्त याच्यामध्ये पदार्थ नाही आहेत, तर याच्यामध्ये सगळ्या उत्सवांची माहिती आहे की ज्या ज्या वेळेला ते पदार्थ बनवले जातात. मला वाटतं बऱ्याचशा मराठी कुटुंबातल्या मुलींना सुद्धा याचा उपयोग एवढ्यासाठी होणार आहे की आता सगळे जे नोकरीसाठी बाहेर राहणाऱ्या मुली आहेत, as you said, from Tanjore Maharashtrians also, many girls who are working, they stay outside the house, and
yes,
they don't get time to make all these things. But once in a while, when you have time, you can just refer to the book and try one thing at least, so the next generation can understand what
these recipes are not forgotten. Yes,
these recipes are not forgotten. They are still they still exist, and they can
just water your mouth.
Yeah. As I tell you, like
It is
these
not
creations, like every house, there are twists where they say Aji chambat, bhaji
Yes.
barasta, atyat sapak pitla barasta. You can bring your own twist to it to
Yes,
suit
yes.
your family's palate, but the original recipe stays. You can
Yes,
work
yes.
around it.
Pizza can be made in Maharashtrian style also.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same that way you can try all these recipes. You can try
Exactly.
reading
To
these
suit,
books.
the modern taste buds.
येस. मला सगळ्यांना सांगायला आवडेल की आपल्या मुलाखतीच्या शेवटी हे पुस्तक कुठे मिळेल आणि त्याची पहिली जी 80 पानं आहेत ही आपल्याला ऑनलाईन वाचायला देखील मिळणार आहेत. आपल्या मुलाखतीच्या शेवटी त्याचे डिटेल्स येणार आहेत. आफ्टर द इंटरव्ह्यू एंड्स, we will have the 80 pages link of this book, free of cost, will be shown after the interview. And if somebody wants to buy this book, the link of Amazon is given. This book is available there, so you can just go and get that book. Tai, I want to ask you one thing. You're mentioning 2-3 food items basically. पोळी, सांबार, रसवांगी आणि बरंच काही असं कोणत्या स्पेशल डिशेस आहेत ज्या तंजावर महाराष्ट्रीयन लोकांच्या मध्ये आज देखील बनवल्या जातात, ज्या मराठी मातीशी तुम्हाला जोडून ठेवतात? Which Marathi dishes are popular amongst Tanjore Maharashtrians, which keep you connected with your Marathi roots basically, other than Puranpoli and Modak?
As I told you, the doodh pitla, sapak pitla, the metkut, the powders, of course, and we also enjoy, like the junkas that go with our rotis, all these which is still made in all our homes, and we enjoy them.
Wonderful. Raswangi, to I'm just dying to come to Tanjore and try that, because I have never tried doodh pitla also, which I personally want to try from your book.
Okay.
Because that's a very age-old recipe. I must have heard it from my aji or someone.
Okay.
Only heard. I have not tried it once also. And this must be the case of many ladies of my age also. They must have not tried half of the recipes from your book.
Okay.
So I want to ask you one question, Tai. समाज और कम्युनिटी खूप छोटी राहिली की पुढच्या पिढीला काही बदलांना सामोरं जायला लागतं. कधी भाषा, संस्कृती याच्याशी तुमचं जे कनेक्शन आहे, नाळ आहे, ती तुटली जाते. तंजावर मुलांच्या नवीन पिढीच्या बाबतीत काय परिस्थिती आहे? Many a times future generations of small communities face certain challenges. It comes to presenting their language, their culture, their knowledge. With the times, these can start to fade away. Do you think that the future generations of Tanjore Maharashtrians likely to face these challenges? Because when we were talking for earlier question, the similar lines have come. So I want to ask you this, particularly this question.
Okay. You're absolutely right. Being a small community, the threat is there, especially because, as I told you, generations ago, everyone in Tanjavur was speaking Marathi. So, I mean, just by listening to it, you got to learn the language. And the best way to learn a language is to be constantly exposed to it. Now, because it's nuclear families everywhere, and the parents are sometimes of, mixed marriages, they cannot speak the language, so it's not spoken at home, and aji ajobas live very far away, so almost they switched over to English or the regional language for convenience sake. So it is very true, the exposure is drastically reducing, and children are finding it very difficult to communicate in Marathi. That is true, but there are very small scale efforts, that are being made by the community to see that, this can be overcome. We have I will first deal with the awareness of the community. We have, as I told you, Shri Vittalji's book on Maharashtrians in Tamil Nadu. And then, for the language, Sri Anandrao Vasisht, a senior Tanjavur Maharashtrian, is compiling a dictionary on Tanjavur Marathi words. And this is to be brought out very soon. And, I'm sure that will help youngsters stay in touch with the language. And we also have a YouTube on Dakshini Marathi. And this YouTube kind of gives you small presentations on, how the language is used, small stories to help you understand Marathi, and small lalis or songs and things like that, just to keep you connected to the Tanjavur Marathi. And we have YouTube of senior, ladies in the community. They share YouTube videos of cooking traditional recipes. Like what I have brought out is a book, and we have cooking of traditional recipes. They also tell you, in these YouTube videos, how the festivals are celebrated, what you need to do to, what you need to put together before the celebrations, and how they are celebrated, what songs are sung for these celebrations. And there are recordings of all this available. We also have a Tanjavur Marathi Facebook page with about 2,900 members. So you will occasionally find threads of the community members discussing recipes, discussing festivals, then discussing the language, the usage. Is this usage right? Can it be used better? Or what do you use in your homes? And there is a thread which, like, many people share their perspectives, and like that also brings about a certain awareness with it. In addition to this, we have a few associations. The Maratha Education Fund in Chennai is an association that was originally founded to support the education of children. Now it also acts as an umbrella for people to come together to have joint celebrations of many festivals like Gudi Padwa, Ganesh Chaturthi, Shankranti. And in addition to this, we also have social functions like the graduates reception, because it's basically used to promote education. We now have scholarships to the tune of 15 lakhs being disbursed every year to needy students. So we have a graduates reception, and there are about 2,000 members, mind you, in this association. And the members support the education of these children, and we kind of honor them, the achievers in this group. And there is a function held, a social function with a dinner held every year to honor these students. And then we have schemes to also honor elderly citizens in their old age. They might need medical assistance or schemes like that. So this is what the Maharashtra Education Fund does. We also have another association called the MS and MAB Trust, the Maharashtra Association Trust, which Dr. Devaji is the present head of this association. His grandfather started this about a few 100 years ago. And what you will find is that this institution fosters many socio-religious activities, the main being the Bhajan Sammelan, which they host every year, bringing in bhajanis from Maharashtra, and they honor senior bhajanis. And a Bhajan Sammelan is held with many groups, and Gondal, Barud, and other forms of bhajans are presented at this forum. In addition, they also hold the Shivaji Jayanti Day and Maharashtra Divas, honoring great Marathas in the community and young achievers. A very huge contribution of this association is that they've brought out a book saying stories of Maharashtra. Stories of Maharashtra in the sense, as I told you earlier, in every festival that we celebrate, after the pujas are over, after the Shravan Mahina Vratas are over, we read the kathas also in Marathi. Te Atpat Nagar hote, tithe ek Brahman hota. The stories will go on, I mean, the children and adults sit and read it. But now, because many people are not able to understand that version of Marathi and, relate to it, the association has brought out this book, translated it into English. So that is a huge
Oh.
service that they have done. And, about the wedding rituals, and, they brought out books and distributed it free of cost to all the members, so that the awareness increases amongst the children. And in addition to this, the Tanjavur Maharashtra Samaj, the Maharashtra Samaj of Tanjavur, the association, there is a South Indian Maharashtra Association in Hyderabad, there is an association in Bangalore. These associations also have meetings, to promote the language and culture of the Tanjavur Maharashtrians.
वंडरफुल. सगळ्या छोट्या कम्युनिटीच्या बाबतीत जे जे होताना दिसत आहे. सिमिलरली दिस इज हॅपनिंग इन मराठी ऑल्सो, बिकॉज the new generation parents are putting their children in English medium schools, and they are not talking too much or even much Marathi in the houses or in their homes also. So similar things are happening here. आमचे लोक पण छान पद्धतीने रिलेट करू शकणार आहेत त्याच्याशी, की आजी आजोबा मराठीमध्ये बोलता आहेत आणि नातवंड सगळी पुढे इंग्लिशमध्ये किंवा दुसऱ्या भाषांमध्ये
That's become the common language across.
सो ग्लोबची जी लँग्वेज आहे ही पुढची मुलं बोलताना दिसत आहेत. पण जसं तुम्ही धडपडता आहात की तुमचं कल्चर अशाच पद्धतीने मुलांच्या पर्यंत पोहोचत राहावं, तसंच मला वाटतं इकडे देखील होताना आपल्याला दिसत आहे. ताई, आज तुम्ही आमच्या इथे आलात आणि एवढा वेगवेगळा सगळा तंजावर महाराष्ट्रीयन लोकांचा अनुभव, त्यांचे सगळं जगण्याची पद्धती कशी आहे पासून सगळं तुम्ही आम्हाला इतकं छान सांगितलेलं आहे की मला वाटतं बोलबर्वाचा आपले हे एपिसोड बघणाऱ्या लोकांना एक वेगळी अनुभूती नक्कीच याच्यामध्ये येणार आहे. वी आर व्हेरी थँकफुल टू यू. यू केम हिअर ऑन दिस प्लॅटफॉर्म टू टॉक टू अस अबाउट the rich heritage what you people have taken from Maharashtra to Tanjavur, and now the cultural mix what you are taking out there. Thank you very much, Tai. You came here and you talked to us.
I would like to thank Team Bol Barwa and you, Kamakshi ji, for giving me this platform. The Tanjavur Maharashtrian community is not very well known outside Tamil Nadu, even within Tamil Nadu for that matter, So I would really express my heartfelt gratitude to you for taking this community to more people and creating an awareness among them that there is this beautiful community which has brought about a confluence of two different cultures, and they have not, neither of the cultures have suffered. It is such a beautiful fusion of two cultures, such a nice blend, and that we are able to present to people. I'm very thankful to you that you have given me this opportunity. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.
Thank you.